Tuesday, the 20th of August 2019. Good morning and welcome to the local news for today. In the news, indigenous villages in West Suriname informed about sustainable development goals. New chief of police formally installed. The peace has returned in Brokopondo and traditional authorities met to discuss bills on land rights. The Working Group Sustainable Development Goals (SDG) of the Ministry of Regional Development started last weekend with a number of information sessions in the Kabalebo area. The goal is to inform the local community about the 17 development goals set by the UN towards 2030. The SDGs include the elimination of all sorts of forms of poverty, as well as guaranteeing food safety and food security, and taking action to combat climate change and its effects. In this project, the traditional authorities, women and youth of the villages Washabo, Section and Apura are involved. This project is part of the technical assistance of the Ministry of Regional Development and is supported by the UNDP with technical and financial resources. The first sessions were held for the young people of the indigenous village Washabo, and the delegation will visit several villages in West Suriname until today, August the 20th. After observing for more than a year in the highest function within the police force, Roberto Prada was formally installed yesterday as Chief of Police. During a solemn ceremony at the Police Academy, President Desiree Bouterse carried out the installation of the new police chief. Prada was first promoted to head Chief Commissioner of Police before he was installed as the chief. President Bouterse thanked former police chief Agnes Daniel for her time as chief and the direction she gave to the force. He called on all ranks to support the new police chief. According to Police Chief Roberto Prada, the force will have to run like a business so that it also can be self-sufficient. Prada did not go into deep about the approach to crime, but he gave high priority to the intelligence service. The Minister of Justice and Police, Stuart Getrouw, indicated that the collaboration with Prada is so far so good, and he is therefore very pleased with this installation. The ministry emphasized the human factor. With his installation, Chief Commissioner Roberto Prada is the 49th Chief of the Law Enforcement. After about a month, peace seems to have returned to the district Brokopondo. Frederick Finisi, the district commissioner of the area, says that there are still wounds that need to be healed. He strongly contradicts that there is no order in the district. About the allegations that the district commissioner, together with MP Wendell Asadang, in an email exchange would have said that the police should fire on rebellious gold miners, Finisi said that that is not true. Wendell Asadang strongly disapproves of the false reporting and considers to take legal action. With the upcoming elections, people are doing everything to score politically, according to the MP, but he's wondering if that should happen with the suffering of others. According to the criminal code, people who are found guilty of cybercrime will be prosecuted. And the draft laws for the land rights of the indigenous and Maroons are taking shape. This past weekend, the traditional authority of the indigenous and tribal peoples met with the land rights management team. During this meeting, which took place in Galibi, the traditional authorities were given the opportunity to present their views of the draft law. Their input will be included in the legislative proposals that will be prepared by the management team. Participants indicated that this meeting is creating a historical breakthrough in the pursuit of legal recognition for land rights of indigenous and Maroons. The management team already had a meeting in May this year with the traditional authority. The difference with the last session is that a substantive contribution has been made. This has resulted in three main points, namely a proposal for a constitutional amendment, a general law on land rights, and a law on traditional administration. And the Traditional Authority presented their vision of land rights, the Traditional Authority itself, and demarcation. There will be more meetings with the Traditional Authority before the draft legislative proposals are presented. The intention is to hand over the draft law to Minister Edgar Dikant of Regional Development in September this year. That will be all for today for our local news. Tomorrow we'll be back again, same time. Bye-bye.